Hey guys, it's your girl Booney, and welcome to The Breakdown, your YouTube headquarters for all things responsible and ratchet. Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I am your host Booney, and we're here for another segment of shit that hits different. So you're probably like, if you missed the first one, you need to go back because that one was about curtains. Yeah, shit that hits different about curtains. So this shit that hits different is a segment that I do about things in our past that as you watch it in the new lens of who you are now, it hits a little different. Or now that you're older, you look back on something and you're like, that's not right. Or that was trash. It hits different. And so in this segment, in this episode, shit that hits different, Carrie Bradshaw. Yes, if you're not sure who Carrie Bradshaw is, then you cannot be my friend because Sex and the City is one of my favorite TV shows of all time. I still watch it. The second movie does not exist, but I must say that in this new age, because when I first started watching Sex and the City, I was like in high school, and so now I'm 36 years old, and I'm the same age as some of the characters on the show at some point in the show, right? And so this just hits a bit different. And so for this shits that hits different, I'm going to set a timer. Last time we did 90 seconds, but to really get into this topic of Carrie Bradshaw hitting different, I am going to set a timer for 10 minutes. Okay, you guys see it? 10 minutes. I'm going to go and hopefully, not an hour and 10 minutes, 10 minutes. Sorry, correct it. Don't click out of my video. But I hope that you stick around because we're about to go in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Shit that hits different, Carrie Bradshaw edition. Carrie Bradshaw is like the worst character on Sex and the City of the main characters, in my opinion. I think when the show first aired, she got to get away with a lot of BS because she was out here with the cute outfits and the lovely shoe connection, and she had Mr. Big, and we were like, oh yay, Carrie. But rewatching this in the lens that which I see the world with life experience now under my belt, I must say Carrie Bradshaw was effing terrible, okay? Number one, she was a bad friend. She was pretty selfish. And I think the thing that I always think about is the time that she sent Aiden to take care of Miranda when Miranda needed her and help. And now here's your boyfriend seeing one of your best friends naked on the floor in pain when she called you to help. Yes, Carrie was a selfish, terrible friend. She was also the broke friend. Like, when I look back, Carrie was really connected to a lot of rich and influential and wealthy people. At one point when she needed, she said that we find out she spent $40,000 on shoes and she had no money. She constantly was connecting with men who were, a little bit more affluent than her. Not mad at that though. But then I think the episode where she's losing her apartment because her and Aiden broke up and he's like, you can buy it back from me at the same price that I paid, and she does not have money or the means to come up with a down payment. Samantha and Miranda immediately offer her the money. She gets angry because Charlotte did not offer her money, like her entitlement to think Charlotte owed her this money, and Charlotte owed her absolutely nothing. Like, I'm sorry, I don't want to give you 30 grand for you to buy your apartment. Like, what level of delusion was this woman operating in? And speaking of Aiden, she did not deserve him. Like, she ended up with exactly who she should have ended up with. Big, because Aiden was so good. And so you beg him to forgive you again, and then you turn around and then force Aiden to be friends with the man that you cheated on him with. Like, I would have not let Big come into the cabin for the Aiden's country house, that episode. Big shows up because he needs Carrie's advice with a woman. And she lets him come in, and they're hanging out in Aiden's country house. Now, Big and Aiden getting into a fight. But what woman in their right mind, after this man has forgiven you for cheating on him with this man, the man that you cheated on him with, you invite him to his country home. Aiden is better than me because it would not, shan't not, and could not be me. All right, so we're doing a little chime check. I still have 6 minutes, so we're good to go. And another thing about Aiden, Carrie is a terrible person because when Aiden finally proposes, well, she sees the original ring and she throws up. So kudos to Samantha for saving the day. But then when she finally accepts his proposal, gets a gorgeous ring, she has the audacity to wear it around her neck as a necklace and not even on her finger. Aiden knew right at that moment, like, what is this? What are you doing? People are asking you what's new in your life. She completely forgets that she's even engaged. She completes that she's engaged. And with the lady Sharon, I can't remember, like the crazy loud lady Sharon is like, why is it on your neck? Like, way to be a friend. Charlotte is sitting there. No one corrected her on this. They let her put this fucking engagement ring on her neck, on a necklace. Terrible, Carrie. Terrible. Also, in this whole Aiden Big saga, when you had the affair with Big, okay, you're having an affair with a married man who is your ex-boyfriend while you're also in a pretty committed relationship. You have sex in his house, in his bed. That's a pretty terrible thing to do. And then the wife, Natasha, comes home and you run away like a coward after she saw you and she falls and busts her tooth. So Carrie, once again, poor decision making, just terrible person that is affecting everyone else's lives, and she really has no account. That's what it took for her to finally end the affair, is having sex in a married man's house in his marital bed and the wife catching you and chipping her tooth, and then that's when you had to call it quits. Like, that's what it took. If that had not happened, I'm pretty sure Carrie would have kept sleeping with him. I also understand and fully aware that these are fictional characters, but I do love this show, I admit, way more than most people. I get it. I think one of the other big things that stood out to me as an adult about why Carrie Bradshaw is terrible is she sex shamed her friends. She's sex shamed. She slut shamed Samantha. So this is the episode with the Worldwide Express guy. She walks in on Samantha engaged in some adult activities with the Worldwide Express guy. And instead of just being like, oh my God, that was a lot, like, it stunned me, whatever, throughout the episode, she then continues to shame her own friend and make references to her being promiscuous and a slut. And I just feel like, if that's your friend, you don't judge your friend. And that was pretty shitty. Like, watching that back, I did not enjoy that. Because I think watching it in the realm of a teenager who had not had life experiences and boyfriends, and with the patriarchy telling and policing women's bodies, that was the one thing I did like about Samantha's character, is that she owned her sexuality and she lived in it and she lived the life that she wanted and she was not ashamed of it. And so to have one of your best friends then shame you for your activities and choices that you choose to make was another pretty shitty move on Carrie Bradshaw's part. And I think the biggest thing was how we closed out the series in the final few episodes is when Carrie decides to go to Paris and give up her entire life and have no way to make money, no friends, no plan, nothing when she moves to Paris. And to be with Alexander Petrovsky. And it was just like, you're all these years later still holding on to the fact that you did not go to Paris with Big. And so now here's your opportunity to do such. And so you make a wildly irresponsible decision. And as my favorite Miranda said, living in a fantasy, you hop on a plane and go to Paris and eat croissant all day because you had no plan. And while you were there, Carrie gives up her entire life. She finally starts to get an inkling and has her little French fan base is about to throw her amazing little book party and celebration. And what does she do? She flakes to be with Alexander. Yes, I have to say it like that because he was so pressed on her pronouncing his name right. And so I could go on and on about why Carrie Bradshaw was pretty terrible. I think I already mentioned, yeah, she spent all of her money on shoes. She had no place to live. She was selfish. She wanted everything from her friends. She believed that she should get everything she desired and wanted at the moment that she should, without any grasp of reality at times. And for that, Carrie Bradshaw, you are a fabulously dressed, unique individual who also was a terrible person. So cheers to you, Carrie Bradshaw. I think I did it. Yes, I have 41 seconds to spare in Shit That Hits Different, Carrie Bradshaw. So I want to hear your thoughts. Let me know. Do you think Carrie is a terrible person? Do you think I was being harsh? Do you agree? Are there things I missed out on? Because I'm sure there may be some examples that I didn't even touch on the earlier episodes and seasons. So let me know in the comments what you think and am I missing anything, and or especially if you disagree. I would like to know if you disagree as well. So thank you so much for watching my video. Be sure to click that button, subscribe. There are all the links in the comments where you can find us across social media. So thank you again for watching.